All right, now we're back. I know that you've got your pattern printed out, you've got your supplies gathered up, you got your shuttle loaded and all the good stuff. Now we're ready to go. First and foremost, I want to point out a couple of things on this pattern. We have a diagram here, okay, and here is the printed pattern. Most patterns, excuse me, will have one or the other. This one provides us with both, okay? However, the diagram pattern just shows you how these are put together. There are other diagram patterns that will have numbers inside or to the outside that tells you how many double stitches there is between these little hash marks that are picots, okay? The A, B, C, D is the order of the rings that we're going to be putting into this pattern. Most patterns, 9 out of 10 times, start with a ring. Remember that. A lot of people have asked me, how do you know where to start? Okay, like I said, 9 out of 10 times the pattern starts with a ring. Okay, the 10th time it'll start with a chain. If it starts with a chain, then it will give you instruction that it is starting with the chain and what you need to do. Okay? But 9 out of 10 times, the patterns will start with a ring. The patterns, 9 out of 10 times, will start center and work their way out. Okay? And the way that your round robin patterns mostly start in the center and they build going out. There are other patterns that will start and go around like this and get bigger as they go around. I have a pattern that I am working on. It's a little motif. I got it off the internet. I don't remember where. And this one, you start here, or you start up here, you do this, and you go all the way around, okay? This is a pattern that I'm playing with for a gift for a friend of mine that's getting married in June, and I'm thinking of doing something with this, because this to me describes her, okay? She's a very sweet lady, and but this is just something to show you. Like I said, I don't remember whose pattern this is. If you all do, let me know. I had downloaded it a while back. I was going through my patterns, and you know, I seen this one. I thought that would be perfect, and didn't even think to look where I got it from. I do want to give kudos to whoever created this pattern. It is beautiful and very delicate. But I'm showing you that this pattern started up here and it worked its way around and back to here. Okay, your round robin doilies will start in the center and work their way out. Okay, but you always start with a ring. Sometimes it will not show you where to start. Start in the center with a ring. Okay, that's the best advice I can give you. I'm not a 40-year veteran of tatting. If you veterans of tatting know any other answer to that question, I would greatly appreciate it. Make a note down at the bottom and I will be sure to let everyone know. But I'm saying start with a ring and start in the center. And as you can see, this one starts center, but you're going to build out from that. Okay? So, now that I've explained how you read these patterns and what you're supposed to do, because if you print this up, you say, okay, now what? What does all this mean? You now know what it means. The little hash marks are picots. Down here, she's got this little arrow. That means lock join. Everywhere you see one of these arrows, those are lock joins. We're going to get into that. I know you know how to do a lock join. I did a video on it. It's under the video Joins in Tatting. And I showed you how to do a lock join. So today, we're going to be doing a lot of lock joins. Alright? Now, to make the basket, the only thing is, when you make your basket, okay, you're going to join all the picots here along the side. You're going to make the first heart. When you come in with the second heart and you get around to this last round, you want to join on every picot going down. Okay? The third heart, because it takes 3 hearts to make the basket, you're going to join on this side as well as this side and button it up, so to speak. Okay? So it's real easy to do. Alright? Now let's get on with the pattern. Alright, we've wound the thread on our shuttle. And the first picot in ring A has to be large enough for the 3 joins. Okay, here's A. B, C, and D have to join to A. So we want our picot long enough. And I'm eyeballing because using a picot gauge with this huge thread and this huge shuttle and these hands don't work. So I'm not coordinated like that. But on these, I did use picot gauge. And what I did was I used this mark right here. It's a little arrow. That's the one I used. Okay? You can go bigger. Just remember it's going to leave a bigger center. Okay? So use your picot gauge. Measure out what sized picot you need to connect all your rings. Now let's get started. The first ring, ring A, says 6-6 close reverse work, and there's a little RW here. That means reverse work. Okay, the dash here means it's a picot. You'll see patterns that have a little dash, a medium-sized dash, and a big dash. That means small picot, medium picot, large picot. Or you'll see a pattern that's got a dash, and then the next one will be 2 dashes. The next one will be 3 dashes. That means small, medium, and large. There's no difference in the dashes. It's just the size of the picot they want you to do. Okay? So remember, if it's got a dash, that's a picot. Okay? If it's got 2 dashes, that's a medium-sized picot, not 2 picots. Okay? If it's got 3 dashes, that means it's a large picot, not 3 picots. Okay? So that is a little tidbit of information that you will need, because some people are running into that. New people learning to tat don't understand what these dashes mean, and that's just a picot. Okay? So let's do our first 6. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to need some more thread. Working with the smaller threads, you won't need thread as often, but this large shuttle you do, because you got to have room for it to pass through. Okay, now granted, my stitches are not perfect using this thread. It's because it's lumpy. Crochet cotton thread is not good to tat with. You can, as you can see, but it's not. Your stitches will be uneven. Expect it. Okay, so now let's put our picot in. I'm just going to eyeball this picot, and I say that picot needs to be about like that. Okay, let's put our other 6 in. We've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now before we close our ring and have to open our ring to fix it, we want to count off our stitches. Get in the habit of doing that. Always count your stitches off before you close your ring. You're supposed to have 6 double stitches before the picot. So we got 1 waistband, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now here's our picot. Alright, we're supposed to have 6 pair of pants after the picot, or 6 double stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason I'm saying pants is because if you look at your double stitches. It has 2 legs and a waistband. Okay? If you've got 2 legs and a waistband, you did your double stitch right. Okay? But always count off before you close your ring. That prevents a lot of ripping out. Okay? Once you get your 6 picot 6, close the ring. Pull it pretty tight. Don't forget to keep the ring in the pinch so that it comes out nice and even. Let me zoom in on that so you can see. There you go. That's what your ring will look like. Alright, let's move out just a hair. Now, it says to reverse our work after we do that ring. Remember I showed you reverse work? Okay, reverse work is front becomes back, top becomes bottom. Here's the top, the picot. Flip it over. Now it's the bottom. Here's the front. When we flip it over, it's now the back. Okay? Now we are not going to do front side, back side because I'm going to do this the way you need to know how to tat. If you choose later to learn front side, back side, that's fine. It's a beautiful technique. But for now, as a beginner, I'm not going to show you that because you need to do it the traditional way until you get the hang of things. Okay? So, now we're into the chain. We've wrapped our hand for our chain, okay? And it says the chain is 6 picot 6 reverse work, okay? Same deal. We're doing 6. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 waistbands. Okay, now we want to look at this next figure because this is where this is the chains we're working on, and this is where they are in relation to the pattern. Right here, you see you've got 3 things going to join in there. Okay, so you want to make the picot big enough to accommodate your joins, but not be so big it jumps out at you. So we're going to make a picot about the same size as we did up here. Use your picot gauge. Okay, stick with that picot gauge. We call them training wheels till you learn the size of picots. If you plan on entering in competition, get in the habit of using a picot gauge because they do measure. Okay, now we put our picot in. We've got our first double stitch. We're going to do the last 5 on this chain. That's 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got one more to go. See, if I hadn't counted, I'd have been off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another habit to practice. Get in the habit of doing your counts. Now you want to pull your shuttle thread just to lock that chain in the right direction because you want it to have the arc. Okay? And it says reverse work. Reverse work again. Top becomes bottom, front becomes back. Okay? Now, it's asking us to do, here it says, rings B, C, and D in turn are 6 plus to ring A, 6 close reverse work. Okay? This 3 times is just telling you you're going to repeat this part from here to here 3 times. Okay? And that's for B, C, and D. Okay? So, here we go. We've got 6 plus. Well, that plus means that you're going to join it to that picot. Okay? You're going to do 6 and join to this picot and 6 more and close your ring. Alright? So let's get our ring set up. Alright, we ready? Let's do 6. This is just a regular join we're going to be doing. Okay? So, don't need to be worried about the lock join just yet. You'll get to it soon enough. Alright? 4, 5, and 6. Okay, count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's pull out some more thread because we've got more of a ring to do. Okay, now to do the join, you go down through that hole. Let me zoom in on this join so you can see what I'm doing. Let me get it over here. Okay, can you get the right angle? There we go. Let's see, right here. We're going to go down through that loop. See? We're going to grab that thread and pull it through the loop. Pull it straight up. We want our join to lay like that on the loop. Okay, come straight up. Don't let those 2 strings here, these 2 pieces of thread, cross, or you're going to get a twisted picot. You're going to come up in an up join. Use your hand, close that join up, manipulate it, okay? There you go. That's your join. Now you got to do 6 more. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That says to close the ring. Alright, we've got our 6 in. Let's count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, close the ring. If your ring doesn't close, you've got a stitch that did not flip. Okay, if it doesn't flip, you're going to have to rip it out. So just by counting it off, and if you see all your waistbands, you'll know that you've got everything in order, okay, and your stitches aren't unflipped. Okay, now what I just did is I adjusted this ring so it's snugged up a little bit closer to ring A, and it's to make room for the other 2 rings to come in here and join. Okay, and you're going to do that every time you add a ring. So what I want you to do is repeat what I just showed you. Okay, right here, that's ring A, the chain, ring B. Ring B joined right here. Okay, can you see that? It joined right here. Okay, you're going to do another chain, another ring, and when you do your first 6, you join right here. Okay, do your second 6, close your ring, chain, do 6, join here, do the other 6, close the ring. Once you get to that point, stop and start the next video. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.